Welcome back, truth seekers. If part 1 left you questioning the history books, good, that's the point. Dr. Antony Sutton didn't just document Wall Street's flirtation with fascism, he exposed the marriage. As Hitler's war machine revved on American Greece, the bankers bet bigger. Tech for tyranny, shares for slaughter. Today in part 2, The Untouchable Empire, we trace the profits through the rubble, slush funds, spared factories, and a tribunal that tried Nazis but spared their sponsors. On the stateless standard, we don't sugarcoat. Power protects its own. September 1939, Poland falls in weeks, fueled by synthetic oil from Rockefeller patents. France crumples by June 40. The Battle of Britain, Luftwaffe planes guzzling high octane from Standard's secrets. Sutton's ledgers show the flow never stopped. Even as U-boats sank American ships, ITT's German ops, building radar for the Kriegsmarine, raked in Reichsmarks. Ford's Cologne plant, churning out troop trucks for the Eastern Front, its American owners pocketing dividends via neutral channels. General Electric's AEG, powering V-2 rocket factories untouched by conscience. But the crown of cynicism, Heinrich Himmler's Black Ledger. Sutton unearthed the Kepler Fund, or KDOS as insiders called it, SS chief's personal piggy bank for death camps and dirty tricks. From 1933 to 1944, over half its millions came from American-linked firms. In 1933, IT wires funds via Dr. Sosthenes Benz network. Standard Oil's Deutsche Amerikanische Petroleum tops it off. By 1944, with Normandy ablaze, ITT still funnels through its Nazi chairman Baron Kurt von Schroeder, the banker who hosted the secret 1933 meeting where Hitler sealed his pact with industrialists. Osram? GE's glow flickers in the ledgers. These weren't bribes, they were business as usual. Before we reach Himmler's private slush fund, let's pause on one of the most brazen precedents Wall Street ever set, because the same men who bankrolled Lenin in 1917 never really stopped writing checks for totalitarianism. Meet William Boyce Thompson, Wall Street speculator, director of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, and in 1917, head of the American Red Cross mission to Russia. Officially, he sailed to Petrograd with doctors and bandages to relieve suffering. Unofficially, he arrived with $1 million of his own money, that's over $25 million today, and promptly handed it to the Bolsheviks. Yes, you heard that right. While American doughboys were still bleeding in the trenches of France, Colonel Thompson funded Lenin's propaganda organs, paid agitators to desert the Russian army, and even bankrolled the Bolshevik newspapers that screamed for peace, meaning Russia's surrender to Germany. Sutton reproduces the canceled checks and the thank you letters from Trotsky himself. Why? Thompson told his biographer plain as day, Russia is going to go Bolshevik, and if we get in on the ground floor, we can control it. Translation: revolution is just another investment opportunity. The same Chase National Bank that Thompson chaired would later become David Rockefeller's Case Manhattan, and the same playbook, fund the radicals, then manage the chaos, would be dusted off for the 1930s. Moral of the story? Genocide pays dividends. Sutton tallies it. IG Farben, 60% of Wehrmacht explosives, 40–50% of Luftwaffe fuel, all rooted in U.S. patents. ITT's Focke-Wulf plants birthed Messerschmitts. And the boardrooms? Interlocked like a Swiss watch. Standard's Tegel sat with Farben's directors. Ford's execs dined with IG's chemists. War wasn't hell for them. It was quarterly earnings. Now the aerial enigma that chills the spine. Allied bombers, over 2.7 million tons dropped, leveled Hamburg, Dresden, Cologne's cathedrals. Yet Sutton's targeting reports reveal anomalies. Prime military nodes spared, as if by divine intervention. Cologne's Ford Workie, largest in Europe, cranking V8 engines for panzers. Scheduled for RAF runs like its sister plant in Poissy, France, obliterated in '44. But Cologne, nary a crater. Windows shattered from nearby blasts, sure, but the assembly lines, pristine till VE Day. The electrical grid, heart of Nazi industry. AEG's 10 majors, 0 hits. Siemens pummeled as a pure German firm. Tank plants, aviation hubs, glassed. But GE and ITT subsidiaries, ghosted. Sutton cross-referenced aiming point lists, targets deleted mid-planning, whispers in the Pentagon's war room, echoes of Korea, Vietnam, where Yalu dams and Hanoi bridges got reprieves. Who gave the order? Not generals drunk on vengeance, but suits in Manhattan safeguarding subsidiaries. Cynical calculus, bomb your own investment? Perish the thought. October 1945. The International Military Tribunal convenes, 22 Nazis in the dock for crimes against humanity. Goering, Hess, Speer sentenced, some to the noose. IG Farben's execs tried separately, a few years inside. But the architects abroad? Sutton scoured the 400 tons of records, many at Hoover, and found the criteria damning: financing aggression, aiding the enemy. Fits Ford, Rockefeller, GE to a T. Yet no subpoenas crossed the Atlantic. No American indicted, no banker in chains. Why? The prosecutor? Robert H. Jackson, Supreme Court Justice, whose brother sat on Farben's U.S. board. Cozy? No? Sutton calls it tragic. The public fed tales of lone wolf evil, blind to the transatlantic strings. Sutton paid for his truths, silenced at Hoover, hounded from academia, independent till his death in '05. His lesson? Empires aren't toppled by elections, they're built on ledgers. Wall Street didn't just rise with Hitler, they ensured he fell profitably. Thanks for joining the Stateless Standards 2-part dive. If this series red-pilled your view of the greatest generation, like, subscribe, and comment. Which modern cartel deserves the spotlight next? Until then, remember, the real trials never happened.